Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology.
Myself, Dr. Privietha, Assistant Professor from Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology. The topic which I am going to cover today is files in C programming. Why do we go for file concept? What is the need of file concept? So, I usually execute a C program. On my console window, my output is reflected, and after I close my system, my input values are not stored anywhere. So, next time when I start running or compiling a program, I used to freshly give the values and just execute the code, right? So, this is a basic thing happens for normal programs, but when you're going for a project or any other thing, the input values which I passed yesterday should be reflected in my system on today. On such cases, or after half an hour or something, if I want to store the value, I should go with the file concept. The file concept inside C is also included in stdio.h, so I don't need to include any other extra packages for handling file concept. And for file concept, I used to use pointer concept. That is, I used to use the memory location for storing some file. So, I used file concept asterisk p, that is used for storing a file in a particular location. And the normal concept inside file is I can open a file, I can close a file, I can write a file, I can read a file. Whenever I open a file, I have to close the file. So, these are some of the basic concept which is involved in file concept. And the fopen, fclose, fread and fwrite, these are some of the functions which is our basic operations which is available in file concept. That is, to open a file, I should give fopen function. For closing it, it is mandatory fclose. So, whenever I open a file, it is mandatory to close a file. And whenever I open a file, I should check whether I am reading a file, I am writing a file, what mode I am going to open a file. So, inside if I am opening a file in read mode, then I should use read to read the contents in the file. For that I am using fread, and fwrite for writing some content in the file. I am using fwrite function. That is, I am creating what as an Excel file or some text file outside the C programming using the code sector inside the C programming. And the modes are R, W and A. R is for reading, W is for writing, and A is for appending. That is, for reading a file I use R mode, for writing a file I use W, and A is for appending if I want to add any additional data to it. So, more options are R plus, W plus and A plus, that is read and write, write and read, and A plus means append. That is, if the file exists, I am going to append the data along with it. And for opening a file, fopen function, the syntax is over here, that I have to create a variable, and in that variable I am going to allocate fopen function using two different parameters. That one parameter is my address location, and the other one parameter which we previously saw, that is RWA or R plus, W plus and A plus. So, file pointer is a variable, fopen is the function which I use for opening a file, and it consists of two parameters. That is, one is for address location and another one is mode of opening. And fopen, it's an example, that is sp data is a variable which I created, and fopen is a function. Inside it I can give the plain file name if it is the file name is present in my location, that is my C programming and my opened file are both in the same location. If that's so, I can use fopen, and same location, I don't want to mention d:/ etc. And W is the mode which I am opening, that is my write mode. So, this is the basic example, hash include stdio.h, then my main int main, that is void, no return type, and my file is asterisk sp data for using the pointer concept, and sp data is equal to fopen my data comma W. Closing a file, for whenever you open a file, you are opening a file with the help of a variable, right, sp data. So, I have mentioned that fclose sp data, that is my I have opened a file by using the sp data variable, I am closing it sp data. Printf and scanf, as of normal C programming, we use scanf and printf statement for reading the data and printing the data. Here we are using fprintf and fscanf for reading the content from the file. I am using fscanf. For printing a data into the file, I am using fprintf. Right. So, the syntax is fprintf, the file name, that is the variable sp data, here I have created as fp, and the string which I am going to write, print and the variables which I am going to print. For example, int I is equal to 12, float x is equal to 2.35, character ch is equal to yes. So these are the three variables which I have declared, and the basic thing, file asterisk fp. So in this I have opened a file by using the variable fp. Fp is equal to fopen out.txt. My file name is out.txt. So I am opening a file in write mode. So I am giving w, and fprintf is equal to fp. That is my file concept fp, and %d, %f, %c as of normal printf statement. So I am printing my integer, float and character. So I have mentioned that I, X and CH as of normal printing concept. The only thing is you have to add, instead of printf, you have to provide fprintf and along with the first parameter fp. And scanf. So scanf means I read some data from the file. So same concept, I have created a file asterisk fp. Fp is equal to fopen. So input .txt is my file name and r is my read mode. Int I is that I have an integer value. I'm just providing an integer to get the values from the Word document. So whatever I get it from the file, that is I'm just using fscanf. Fscanf for scan the data from the file. The file name is from fp and I store it in I variable in the fp. And another concept is end of file. There is a concept called end of file, that is feof. feof means so much of time I just declared an integer variable, and what is it, I had just declared an integer variable and I just read only one data, right? Or I just printed some one or two data to the file. But if you are reading a file, you can't say that my file contains only one word or two word to read it. So I use a concept called feof, that means file end of file. File end of file means my file contains so much of content. So my pointer starts from the starting place until it reaches the end place. So here this end of file is referred to check whether my data in the entire text file is read. So same concept, I stated scanf, I'm scanning using a variable. So I'm checking whether I have reached the end location, whether I have reached the end location in the content. So for this is a basic example for reading and writing a data. So file, I have used two different variables, one is out file and one is in file. Out file is used to print some data in the file, and the in file is used to scan some data from the text file to the C programming. So int b is equal to f, b is equal to 5. So I have allocated a variable b, and this is for scanning the data. Float a is equal to 13.75, c is equal to 6.38, e and g is used for scanning the variables from the from the text file. So as of it, out f file is equal to fopen. I'm just opening a file, text data in the write mode. Then fprintf out file, that is my file name for opening, and inside that I'm just printing my %f %d, that is my, I'm just printing the a value, b value and c value inside my text document, other test data. Inside my test data, what I'm doing, I'm just saving the value of a, b and c. Then I'm using close file. Since I'm opening in write mode, I have opened a file in the write mode, I'm closing it. Then my in file is equal to fopen test data, that is in my second variable, I'm just opening the test data using read mode, and inside that using fscanf, I'm just reading all the data in the in file. Then same thing, I know that I'm having three different data, that is my float data, my integer data. So what I have done is %f, %d, %f. That means my first data will be saved in e variable and my second float data will be stored in g variable, and in the inter between I have just read the input data. So first I printf, when I'm printing ABC, the value will be printed as 13.72, 5 and 6.68. The same wise when I'm printing E, F and G, the same value will be displayed, that is 13.72, 5 and 6.68 is printed. But the concept behind it is I have opened a file, saved the data over there, then I have closed the file. Again I have opened a file in the read mode, I have read the data from it and I have printed. And this is an example for feof, that is simple thing, whatever inside my file, whatever inside my text file, read all and print it. So just I have declared character ch because I'm going to get all the data in the string format, character format, and file asterisk fp is the normal thing which we use for creating a file. Fp is equal to fopen. Out.txt is a file which I'm going to read, and I'm going to read in R mode. And while not feof, until it reaches the end location, until my cursor reaches the end location, read all the content from the file fp, right? And then I have declared a variable ch and getc fp, gets each and every character. For example, if I have in my data have good, it will read G, it will print. Again, it will check whether it is end of file. It is not an end of file. So again, it will read the data. My second letter, that is O, will be received and saved in CH. Again, it is printed. Again, it will check whether it is reached end of file. No. Then again, another one O will be read, and again D will be read, and it will be printed GOOD. After that, it will check whether it is end of file. Of course, it reached the end of file, and it will move out of the while loop, and normal get ch, and my program ends over here. So in file concept, we should be very cautious that whether I have opened a file, in which mode where I have opened a file, and whether I have closed a file. So based upon the mode, you have to use whether fscanf or fprintf to check that my value has reached the end of file. You can use end of file function over here. Thank you.